What's good, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless, and I'm back with another reaction, this time to Championships by Meek Mill. So let's talk about it. Meek is back. Meek is back. I honestly haven't been this excited for a Meek Mill project probably since, well, shit, probably ever. I've always liked him, and I've always thought he was a very good rapper and artist, but he's always seemed to miss something with me. Something that kept him from the likes of like the Kendrick Lamars and J. Cole's and Drake's of the world out there. He was more in line with the Big Sean's and them. But he has been showing me a lot lately, and he has really shown a level of growth that I did not expect to see from him. Even from his last project, which I thought was one of his best yet and continued to show his evolution as an artist. But now, ever since, his failed back and forth with Drake and then his whole legal problems and just the whole shit dealing with the justice system, I feel like that's kind of awakened something in him that put expectations on him that I don't think anybody would have put on him when he first came. He went from damn near being the laughing stock of the internet to like some sort of folk hero or voice of the people. So expectations for this project being the first one since he got released were extremely high. And after the first one or two listens, I have to say, for the most part, he lived up to the hype. Sure, it wasn't perfect by any means, but he delivered what I really wanted to see if he could deliver. And that is a well balanced project that showed off his more, I won't say conscious, but aware and more socially aware side of himself, along with the bangers and the street talk, because I think he does have a unique voice in that perspective, and he's been using it with all the songs leading up to this in a way that other artists can't really reach people. And right off the bat, from intro and trauma, I knew he had something, and I knew he really had some shit to say here. And did he ever say it? Because these are easily some of his most poignant songs and verses he's ever put out. And I mean, honestly, he has had songs like this before where he has talked about street stuff and the real life consequences of things and just the real life reality of being from the streets in interesting ways. But here it just feels so much more impactful, especially, I guess, because considering where he just escaped from. And all of his real songs, they just hit, man. They just hit in a different way than anybody else could deliver. Even from somebody like Kendrick Lamar, who has made a whole career speaking on these sorts of issues and real life problems, but he does it in his own unique artistic way. While Meek has this matter of fact, blunt authenticity to everything he's saying that just hits you, man. It hits you in a real way, like, and it's special to see. He really embraced that role of voice of the people, and he delivered some shit that just gave you chills, like on Cold Hearted 2 and Oodles and Noodles Babies and What's Free. It's just good. It's fucking good. But then, of course, it is Meek Mill, so he does still give you bangers. He does give you those club hits, and he does give you that turn up music. And I think for the most part, it is a pretty good balance. Although I will say that these are probably some of my least favorite bangers from him, maybe ever. Not that they're necessarily bad. They just didn't really hit me in that same sort of way some of his other stuff, like I'm Liddy and all the other songs he's had before. Even the much anticipated Drake song, like it's cool. I mean, it's great to see them back working together. Which I mean, come on. Of course, they were going to. It's too much money to be made in that whole relationship now. But it's a good song, but it really wasn't like all that. Honestly, it really wasn't that special, and it's not one that I run to like you might think you would. And that future feature, oh god, bro. That might be the most annoying shit I've ever heard from him. Either that one or the one he did with Kendrick with that fucking high pitched whining voice. But this is continuous, and this shit sucks. That's the one song I will say is fucking sucks. And while these are small nitpicks, there are two things that kind of rub me a little bit the wrong way on here. One being the track listing ordering. It seems a little bit all over the place and kind of incoherent to go from On Me and featuring Cardi B talking about bad bitches dancing on you and shit like that to what's free. It's a bit jarring. And the other small problem I had with it would be the sampling. He has a lot of samples here, and for the most part, he does do a fairly good job of utilizing them well to make interesting songs. The fact that a lot of these samples are so big and so recognizable and so iconic that you guarantee you've heard them in another song, probably even another rap song before, that it can kind of pull you out of the experience because they are such recognizable samples that I found myself thinking about other songs more than focusing on what he was saying or what he was doing with the sample. And what's free is less of a sample than just a straight up remix. And a remix of a fucking classic Biggie song. And if it wasn't for the fact that Rick Ross is on there and delivers and just floats all over the beat, and Jay-Z delivers quite possibly the best verse of the year and quite possibly his best guest feature in the past decade, I might feel some type of way about it that he chose to just straight up remix the song. I don't really like when artists do that, and I find it very hard to deliver on, especially when there's so many feelings and memories connected to those original songs. And the fact that Nicki Minaj already did a Biggie basically flip, it's kind of like, not really what I wanted to hear, but thankfully the verses were so fire that I kind of overlook it anyways. And obviously the instrumental is fire too because it was a fire song to begin with. I would just like for him to be a bit more original because he has started to go a bit sample crazy between this and the last album. But despite those few gripes and I think a few miscues and missteps on the project, I think he delivered something special, man. He delivered something that he's been missing in his catalog. I think this is the moment that would really cement him among rap's elite, both past and present. And hopefully, we continue to see that growth on his future projects because obviously people are really feeling what he's saying. And not only is it important, the stuff that he's saying, but it's very cool to see a mainstream artist outside of like Cole and Kendrick and somebody who's considered just like a street rapper really embrace that side of them. And I, really want to see that continue. And hopefully we do. Hopefully we get to see that. But for those of you that did hear Championships, what do you guys think about it? Do you think it lived up to the hype? Do you think he did a good job of balancing his bangers and older street type of records with his more socially aware self? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to head over to the official website where you can leave your own ratings and reactions to this album, other albums, and everything else I react to over on the site. If you have anything that you would personally like me to react to, you can also let me know in the comments down below. And if you like any of the gear that I rock in these videos, like this or this, you can also head over to the official website and grab some for yourself. As always, thank you guys for joining me. If you are liking these videos, please smash that like and subscribe button for me. I will be back shortly with more reactions. Until then, I will catch you guys soon. Peace.